Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us for today's call with LNI's Acting Secretary, Jennifer Barrier, and Secretary Teresa Miller from the Department of Human Services. I'm Teresa Elliott, Deputy Communications Director for LNI. Before we get started with opening remarks, let me brief you about some format changes to the weekly media calls moving forward. As we get closer to the end of the federal PEUC and PEUC programs on December 26th, we'd like to start providing your readers, viewers, and listeners with information from our partners and Commonwealth agencies about other forms of assistance that may be available. Moving forward, our weekly calls will focus on a specific topic of discussion. If you have questions on that topic, we ask you to submit them in the usual fashion by clicking the blue icon located in the lower right-hand side of your screen. Please submit your name and media outlet, followed by your question. In the interest of time, you'll be limited to one question, but time permitting, we'll open up the call for a second round of questions on that day's topic. You may submit any additional follow-up questions or general UC questions to us at dlipress@pa.gov, and we'll address them after the call. Additionally, we will provide participating media outlets with UC stats about payment amounts, the number of calls, chats, and emails answered, and additional background information following the call, along with the link to the recording. For your awareness, this call is being recorded. If you do not consent to being recorded, please hang up now. Let's get started with comments from Acting Secretary Jennifer Barrier. Secretary?
Thank you, Teresa, and thank you to all for attending today. Again, I'd like to give a warm welcome to Secretary Miller. As Teresa said, my name is Jennifer Barrier, and I'm honored and very enthusiastic to serve as the new Acting Secretary for the Department of Labor and Industry. One of my top priorities is to ensure that labor and industry continues to maintain transparency while finding new and better ways to improve customer service and more quickly assist out-of-work Pennsylvanians. I feel very strongly that there can never be too much of an emphasis on customer service, and I'm committed to working with LNI's excellent unemployment compensation team to provide a better experience for all claimants. Speaking on those terms, one of the newest customer service projects that we're currently working on involves improving our outreach to claimants. Rather than repeatedly trying to reach someone when we have questions or need more information, we'll soon be able to text or email the claimant directly to let them know that a UC team member would like to call them. We'll then provide them with a link so that they can click on the link and let us know what times they're available for us to call. This new feature, which we're really looking forward to, will help prevent wasting time by playing phone tag with our claimants. And also, I hope it'll alleviate some of the frustration that the claimants have trying to get in touch with us. We're really hopeful that this new feature will be available by the latest early February, but we're hoping that we can make it available sooner. We are also hoping to launch our new unemployment compensation system, the benefits modernization system, in late spring. The exact timing of that is really going to depend on the severity of COVID-19. We've been in constant communication with the legislators and our stakeholders and also our advisory committee. And, the common theme that has emerged is that we don't want to disrupt any services to claimants during this time. And we agree completely. We don't wish to do that either. So we're being very thoughtful about how we're going to implement this new program. And we want to make sure that we're doing it in a thoughtful and good manners to make sure that we're not disrupting services. So we'll adjust that timeline accordingly if needed. But again, we are hoping late spring will be when that system launches. Labor and Industry will continue sharing its goals, projects, and also helpful UC tips and updates via regular press releases. As Teresa mentioned, the format of these calls has changed a bit. We have other areas that we need to focus on, and that brings me to the purpose of today's call. As Teresa mentioned, there is a very important topic that we need to discuss. Both Secretary Miller and I joined Governor Tom Wolf in urging members of Congress to extend federal pandemic programs before they expire at the end of the month. Unless Congress passes an extension, nearly 500,000 Pennsylvanians will abruptly lose benefit payments when the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance, PEUC, and Pandemic Emergency Unemployment Compensation programs end at the end of the month. The PEUC system is expected to have more than 400,000 claimants at the end of this month when it's set to expire. As you all recall, most likely, that this program was created by the Federal CARES Act for self-employed individuals and others who lost their jobs due to COVID-19. These are individuals who are not eligible for traditional unemployment compensation programs. The Pandemic Emergency Unemployment Compensation Program is expected to have approximately 109,000 claimants that are active on the system at the end of the month when it expires. So combined, both programs, that's 500,000 Pennsylvanians and their families who will lose benefits. And they'll struggle to pay for basic human necessities like food, housing, and medication. The COVID-19 pandemic continues to cause economic challenges, preventing out-of-work Pennsylvanians from obtaining new jobs and causing additional job losses. Many workers who are unemployed as a result of COVID-19 have never faced unemployment hardship before. These workers are especially vulnerable to continued job loss because they're less aware of the support that exists in their communities and also with state agencies. While at LNI, we can't legally provide individuals with unemployment payments when they don't legally qualify for them, we are committed to working with our partners, like the Department of Human Services, to raise awareness of the other support programs that can assist out-of-worker Pennsylvanians. And with that being said, I am going to pass the baton to Secretary Miller.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, and thank you, Secretary Barrier, for inviting me to join you today. I appreciate the opportunity. My name is Teresa Miller, and I have the privilege of serving as the Secretary for the Pennsylvania Department of Human Services. The last 9 months have upended normalcy for all of us, but for too many Pennsylvanians, this crisis has destabilized financial situations and further strained resources for those already below or living near the poverty line. The Department of Human Services administers most of what's considered to be Pennsylvania's public assistance system, programs that support and facilitate access to healthcare and help Pennsylvanians purchase food, pay home energy costs, and pay for other basic expenses like clothing, transportation, and shelter. These programs exist so that in our most difficult moments, we're not alone in meeting these essential needs. Despite historic unemployment, we've seen a slower than expected growth in enrollment in Medicaid and the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, formerly known as food stamps, which are two of our largest assistance programs. The growth in these programs has been steady, but there hasn't been a surge in applications for assistance that one would expect given the circumstances that we're under. Unemployment programs have helped prevent that, but I worry deeply about circumstances that individuals and families will face without additional support. In order to help to better connect people who may qualify for assistance due to a job loss or income change to these programs, we're working with the University of Pittsburgh to better understand why folks may not take steps to apply for assistance. At this point, preliminary data from the survey is still being analyzed, but we're finding that people most often don't want or feel they need assistance, or they believe that they will be employed again soon. I think all of us want anyone who's experiencing a serious life disruption to land on their feet quickly and comfortably. But I don't want anyone who is still unemployed and looking for a job to feel like they have to endure this period and its stress, anxiety, and uncertainty alone. Using a public assistance program can be a short-term thing that helps cover the essentials and makes ends meet until you get a new job. DHS is here to support Pennsylvanians as this public health crisis and period of economic insecurity evolve. And we are doing everything we can to ensure that public assistance programs meet the needs of the people that we serve. Our public assistance network exists to help people during times like we currently face. They can be a lifeline that makes sure that people can go to the doctor, have enough to eat, or pay their utilities as other bills and needs arise. These programs can be a bridge that provides security while you prepare for your next step. It's okay to use it for a few months so that you know your health and your essential needs will be covered during that period. Pennsylvanians who have experienced a change in income or job loss, regardless of its relation to the COVID-19 pandemic, can apply for benefits online at www.compass.state.pa.us. You don't need to know your own eligibility in order to apply for these programs. I want all Pennsylvanians to know that no matter what happens at the federal level, they do not have to weather this time alone. We will continue to do all we can to meet this challenge and support people experiencing difficult times. Again, please know that no matter what is ahead, you don't have to go through this alone. Thank you again, Secretary Berrier, for allowing me to join you today. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Secretary Miller. That was very helpful information. Labor and industry will keep advocating for the continuation or replacement of the federal pandemic unemployment programs that are set to expire, because we know how vital this support is to Pennsylvanians and their families. If Congress acts, we are ready to quickly and efficiently implement any program or an extension of anything that they pass. So, we're ready, and we're hoping that they do. However, until then, we are going to continue to partner with other agencies in getting information out that we think would help families. At this time, we'll take your questions.
Thanks so much for those comments, Secretary Berrier. As mentioned earlier, now we're entering the Q&A portion of today's call, and I encourage you, if you have any questions about the benefits or programs that the Department of Human Services will be available to provide to claimants who are currently receiving PEUC or PEUC benefits that are expected to sunset on December 26th, please submit them to us at this time. Again, for those of you who are new to our call, you can submit those questions using the blue chat icon at the bottom of your screen. For anyone who has general questions about UC benefits or the Unemployment Compensation Program, we encourage you to submit them to our resource account at dlipress@pa.gov, and we will provide responses after the call, along with the boilerplate information that we typically provide at the top of each call. Now we're going to move on to questions. Let's see if we have anything germane to today's topic. Okay, so we will hold for a moment and see if anything comes in relating to the services specifically the Department of Human Services is providing. Okay. We have a question from Radio PA, and that is, does Secretary Miller anticipate a surge in applications for public assistance programs administered by DHS if the federal programs are not extended? The question is submitted from Mark Sims from Radio PA. Secretary?
Thanks, and thanks for that question. You know, we have been from the very beginning anticipating a surge in applications, and we haven't received them. And as I mentioned in my comments, one of the reasons we believe we haven't received a surge is because unemployment benefits have been available to people. So I hesitate to say we anticipate seeing a huge surge, because I've been saying that now for months and we just haven't seen a huge surge. We have seen just a gradual increase in our enrollment. So we are seeing, I think we've got about a 10% increase in Medicaid enrollment now and 6 or 7% increase in SNAP enrollment. So we have seen an increase in enrollment in these programs. We just haven't seen a spike. I think I am concerned though, because we haven't seen unemployment compensation benefits cut off like we may anticipate here in the coming weeks. So that's one of the reasons we wanted to do this press conference, was just to make sure people are aware, if they find themselves in this situation, that our programs are available. And if these do indeed go away, I think, you know, once again, I would expect to see an increase in our applications. But like I said, I've been saying that for a while. But again, we've seen these unemployment benefits continue, and I think that's played a big role. So I worry that we would see a lot more stress on our system if the federal government doesn't step up and extend unemployment benefits.
Our next question is from Laura Benshaw from WHYY. Do you have a response to the $908 billion deal currently being worked out in Congress? How would that change the picture for both DLI and DHS? Secretary Miller, I'm going to let you respond first, please.
I think I haven't been able to see all of the details of what Congress is currently discussing, but I think additional aid in terms of assisting state governments would certainly be helpful from a state government perspective. And I think my understanding is there is an extension of unemployment benefits, maybe at a reduced level in what they're talking about. And I do think that would certainly be better than nothing, and would hopefully keep people able to pay bills as they move forward, and perhaps not having to rely on DHS programs if the proposal is able to go through.
And to follow up from a labor and industry perspective, we are certainly carefully watching what's going on with Congress and any deals that might be cut, and we're closely monitoring to see what the potential impact could be on unemployment compensation. We stand ready to act. We're ready to go. I know with a prior implementation of the PEUC program and the PEUC program, we were able to throw those up pretty quickly. So we're very confident that we'll be able to keep up that momentum and do what we need to do when and if something gets passed.
Okay, and again, for the benefit of our reporters that are on the call today, our call today is focused on providing information about other forms of assistance available to UC claimants who may lose federal PEUC and PEUC benefits on December 26th, with a particular focus on the services that the Department of Human Services provides. We will certainly answer any questions that you have during today's call, but we will only answer questions live that pertain to that topic. If you have questions that do not pertain specifically to that topic, please feel free. We encourage you to submit them to our resource account at dlipress@pa.gov, and we will answer them promptly after the call. Our next inquiry is from Bill Kibler at Altoona Mirror. Is there a surge for Medicaid and SNAP, and is the state prepared to handle it financially?
Sure. So it's important to remember that at least for SNAP is a 100% federally funded program. So from a state perspective, an increase in applications for SNAP or enrollment for SNAP doesn't impact the state financially. Medicaid is a joint program that is paid for with state and federal dollars. And it is an entitlement program. So if people are eligible, we provide services. And I think the bigger issue I've been concerned about is just our ability to take applications, stay up with demand, make sure we're turning around those applications and getting people benefits as quickly as possible. And as I said, we've been expecting a surge for a while, and I think are prepared for whatever comes in. Even though we've shut our county assistance offices, which are the offices that help people get connected to benefits, typically they're open to the public and people can walk in. We've had those offices shut now for several months because of the pandemic and just safety for clients and for our staff. But we are still processing applications and still doing all the work to make sure that we get those benefits out. So I anticipate we will be able to keep up with any increase in applications that we'll see. And again, from the financial perspective, whoever comes in the door, we will serve. And Medicaid is really the only area there that's impacted in terms of financing.
Okay, it looks like that's all the questions we have today related to the services the Department of Human Services provides. So it looks like one more just came through. So let me quickly read through it and see if it is on topic for us. No, it is not. So I encourage our reporters who have questions, general UC questions, particularly Ashley, Juliana, Joe, Bill, Isaac, and Angie, to please submit them to us after the call. The resource account is dlipress@pa.gov, and we will get you a response as quickly as possible. That's all the time we have for today, and I'd like to thank Secretary Miller for joining us today. Again, please email our communications office with any additional questions at dlipress@pa.gov. We thank you very much for joining us today, and stay well.